Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump has signaled that the United States is set to complete its main objectives in the Iran conflict within the next 2 to 3 weeks, describing the measures as necessary to neutralize Iran's threat to regional and global security. Speaking in a prime-time address, he warned that US forces would continue aggressive operations against Iranian targets. Trump told the nation that US forces had delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories during the past 32 days of strikes. He added that the temporary spike in US gasoline prices was a direct result of Iranian attacks on commercial tankers, not the US strategy, and criticized allies for relying on oil from the region. On the other hand, Iran's army commander-in-chief, Amir Hatami, was quoted as saying by state media that the country's operational headquarters must monitor enemy movements with utmost pessimism and accuracy and be ready to counter any method of attack. US President Trump has said the Iran conflict is nearing completion and could end within weeks. State media quoted Hatami as saying that no enemy troops should survive if adversaries attempt a ground operation. Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has addressed the American people directly, urging them to question whose interests are truly being served in the ongoing US-Israeli conflict against Iran. In his open letter, Pezeshkian highlighted the human and strategic costs of the war, asking whether attacks on Iranian infrastructure and civilians align with American priorities. He questioned the destruction of hospitals, pharmaceutical facilities, and other civilian targets. The Iranian president criticized rhetoric from US leadership, including threats to reduce Iran back to the Stone Ages, calling such actions counterproductive and damaging to America's global standing.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi have appeared at pro-government rallies in Tehran, greeting supporters as crowds waved national flags. Araghchi praised what he described as high morale among the public as the conflict continues. The rally comes amid claims by US President Donald Trump that Iran has sought a ceasefire, a statement Tehran disputes, keeping tensions elevated. Meanwhile, Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei has praised Hezbollah and pledged continued support for the group. In a statement, he highlighted Hezbollah's role as fighting intensifies in Lebanon, where the conflict has displaced large numbers of civilians. The Iran-backed group remains closely linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which has played a key role in rebuilding its capabilities ahead of the current war. On the other hand, US Vice President J.D. Vance has stepped up efforts to broker an end to the Iran conflict, communicating through intermediaries in Pakistan. He conveyed that President Trump is open to a ceasefire if US demands are met, while also warning of increased pressure on Iran's infrastructure. Pakistan continues to act as a key diplomatic channel between Washington and Tehran as negotiations intensify ahead of a critical deadline.
8 Muslim-majority countries have strongly condemned Israel's move to pass a law making death by hanging a default sentence for Palestinians convicted in military courts of deadly attacks. A joint statement released by Pakistan said Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Indonesia, Jordan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates also emphasized the urgent need to refrain from measures that risk further inflaming tensions on the ground. And 4 astronauts have blasted off from Florida on NASA's Artemis II mission, a high-stakes voyage around the moon that marks the United States' boldest step yet toward returning humans to the lunar surface later this decade in a race with China. NASA's Space Launch System rocket, topped with its Orion crew capsule, roared to life just before sunset, carrying its debut crew, 3 US astronauts and a Canadian astronaut, into Earth orbit. The 32-story tall space vehicle thundered into clear skies, trailing a towering column of thick white vapor. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.